Hey everyone, Carrie Beck here with Homeschool Coffee Break, where we help you stop the overwhelm so you can take a coffee break. We are talking about Easter, Holy Week, Lent. How can we really keep our focus on Jesus instead of all the extra things, all the busyness? Let's face it, the struggle is real. We know that you are busy and sometimes it's too hard and you don't have time to go researching all these fun activities or ways that you could actually be intentional with your kids. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're talking about Easter and Holy Week homeschool activities. You can use these whether you're homeschooling or not. Some of them will be more pertinent to homeschooling in that you will be doing some reading and writing. But we do know that kids are going to learn best when they are engaged with hands-on experience. Some of those hands-on might be writing and being creative with that and speaking. But others are going to be hands-on building stuff. So let's dive into this. I think one of the best things that moms can do, homeschool or not, is to raise our kids to be able to think critically and biblically, to be able to make wise decisions. If that is a goal of yours, that was one of our big goals. How are you going to be able to do that? What I'd like to do is take the Easter week, Holy Week, or even these weeks leading up to Easter, and talk about our read, write, and discuss method to develop that critical thinking. Again, whether you homeschool or not, it doesn't matter. We want our kids to go off into the world to think critically and stand up for Jesus. So, the first thing I would encourage you to do is to read aloud with your kids. We could read stories about Easter. I did not find my copy of Vinegar Boy, one of our favorite books. It is for probably upper elementary and older, not for understanding wise, but it is about a little boy who was the vinegar boy at the cross. And so a little roughness in there as well. So you could start with a historical fiction set in the time of Jesus and the cross of Jesus. Several different ones that you could use. That's just one I thought of. Or you could read different passages of the Bible. Whatever you do, you read it aloud and then talk about it. Read it aloud and let your kids tell you what it was. What are some of the stories that you might read from the Bible? You might read about Palm Sunday, Matthew 21. And you could tie in a fun activity. Read aloud, let them tell you the story, and then let them wave palm branches, shouting Hosanna. You might read aloud the Last Supper, Luke 22, and then role play the breaking of the bread. It was a flat bread. Go buy some matzah bread at the store and do it. Maybe even do a little research about the lines, the scars, and then the piercing in the bread itself and see how that all works. That would be a fun hands-on eating activity. Another part that you could read is the crucifixion and the resurrection, Luke 23 and 24. And then let your kids act out the scenes at the empty tomb and Mary and her friends coming up to the tomb and the gardener being there. There's lots of different things you could do. And then you want to read through. And I always believe it's important that you read and then talk about it, tell back exactly what has happened. So the first part of critical thinking skills is reading every single day. Number two is write. Writing reinforces what they are learning. So writing at different levels. Your young kids can just copy a verse. Maybe you pick a section of the story and you let them copy one verse a day and then talk about it. Your middle age kids narrate. First, they may narrate orally, whatever it is you're reading, and then they can actually narrate by writing. That's just telling the story. You are retelling the story. That begins thinking skills. They have to remember, and that's a great skill. Older kids could keep a reading journal and they talk about the book you're reading or the stories you're reading in the Bible. And they're going to talk about, use some critical thinking, maybe give their opinion of what happened, maybe tell the different ways that people responded to Jesus. Maybe you look at the transfiguration and the Moses and Elijah are there and Peter's coming in and say, oh, we need to build monuments. And you might say, what do y'all think about that? And let them write that in a reading journal. And for me, whenever I used reading journals, it was one page. We would read something or they would read it independently, 1 page in their journal. We didn't need them to write 10 pages, 1 page each day. And so whatever you're reading, let your kids, your older kids, write about it. That writing about, not just retelling, but going deeper into those thinking skills. So read, then they're going to write at whatever level they are. Number 3, discuss. Questions that spark the faith. Discussions lead to critical thinking. Talking about your faith and talking about your kids' faith will really help them to process what Jesus did for them. So I think it's important, maybe once a week, have a discussion. Each week, as we're leading into Holy Week and the week of Holy Week, maybe just pick 1 or 2 questions about the book you've read or the Bible passages that you've read. Why do you think Jesus rode in on a donkey? How do you think the disciples felt at the Last Supper? What does it mean that Jesus died for you and for me? Those are just a few questions. Now, I will give you a little trick. If you want your kids to really learn to think, you're going to have to learn to zip it up. Ask a question and don't answer it. You never answer your own question. You allow them time to think and process. You already have an answer? Great. But give them time to think. Because if you answer the question, you know what they're going to say? Oh, mom will answer it, so I don't really even have to think. If I just wait long enough, she'll answer it. I'm speaking to myself. So read, write, and discuss. And that discussion should hopefully become more of a conversation. You can discuss at the dinner table every night, but I'm talking if you want to do a little formal discussion. So we're reading it, we're writing it, we're talking about it. Now we're going to craft it. Let's talk about some crafts because crafts make things tangible. You could just get some popsicle sticks and make a cross and decorate it however you want. Simple. And you could have them doing that while you're reading the story of the crucifixion. You could do something like we did years ago. And I think we might do it next week. This is my Easter garden. You can use real flowers, or these are just fake. I just keep these here so I can always talk about it. But we've got flowers here. We've got a little path up here. We have a cross that I made and just tied it together. And you may not be able to see it, but there is a tomb here and there's a stone. And so you can sort of see, I just got a pot from dollar store. And when we, on Friday, the stone is there. And then Saturday night, when they go to sleep, you take the stone away and then you have your empty tomb, if you can sort of see. Sorry, can't see it too bad. But that's something fun that you could do. Oh my gosh, I broke that rock. Well, it's been around since 2008, so I guess it's lasted a long time. Resurrection Garden. You might do the Stations of the Cross and do something, a craft for each of those stations. These are activities that will reinforce the story and your kids will remember it. I think my kids, about 3 years ago, we were on a family trip and we did make some Easter gardens. I think I'm going to take all of the information. This weekend we are celebrating a birthday and I might take that and we might all do that on Saturday afternoon after our little birthday party. So read it, write it, discuss it, craft it, and then it comes up to mom. Why is Easter such a big deal? Why should it be bigger than any other day? Many families go really big in Christmas, but celebrate Easter quietly. Easter is really the main reason for our faith. Yes, Jesus came as a baby, but he had victory over sin and death, 1 Corinthians 15:17. So, moms, you need to make Easter the highlight of your family's faith journey. You and your husband, I don't mean it by yourself. So, what are some things that you could do? Start new Easter traditions. Maybe just make an Easter garden every year. Maybe do resurrection rolls. Use an Easter countdown like you would for Advent or Christmas. Make Resurrection Sunday a joyful, exciting celebration, a feast. Ideas on that? Come over next week. We'll be sharing some more ideas on that. So find something that's new and that you can do, just one thing maybe over the next few weeks. So read it, write it, discuss it, and then create it and celebrate it. Holy Week Easter and Easter is a time for joy, reflection, and family faith building. This is perfect for you. So if you need some ideas on a Bible reading plan, we have a free Bible reading plan for Holy Week. You're welcome to get it. There'll be a link in the show notes as well. I also have my free masterclass about 3 steps to to preparing your heart for Easter. Starts with moms and moves into even some more activities that I didn't share today. Just a few ideas that you can tie homeschooling into Easter and build your kids' faith at the same time. Really, thank you so much for being here. And if you need some more Christ-centered family resources, look at the show notes. We've listed several of those as well. I am Carrie Beck with Homeschool Coffee Break. We'll talk to you next time.